and gals, how's it going? Have a lot to talk about, but mainly over the last few weeks, I'm kind of concerned about a few things. So I may decide to make a couple of announcements. First thing I want to talk about is the state of our nation, the state of our society. I think it concerns me because I think we've forgotten who we are and what's important. And obviously we care not about ourselves or anyone else. We've gotten to the point now where all we care about is fighting each other, killing each other, doing whatever we can to disrupt each other. We start to believe what anyone says, no matter what they say. People have a tendency of just saying whatever they want. And people believe it, no matter if there's evidence on it or not. Now, I don't really care about this whole issue with Supreme Court justice, because I think the only reason people were so angered by it because they're afraid he's going to change what they really want. Now, I don't think it's really going to matter, to be honest with you, because we've had several Supreme Court justices since Roe versus Wade, and nothing has really changed. We've had Democrat, we've had Republican, we've had, independent. We've had several different ones over the years, and nothing has really changed. I certainly don't think the laws are going to change. And I certainly don't think that there's going to be any big moves in the near future. But obviously, most people have gone over their morals over this whole thing. They're not thinking straight, and it's completely lost. It doesn't matter what you think, what he thinks, what she thinks, what anybody thinks. What they mostly care about is themselves. That's what this world has become. That's what this country has become. People just care about themselves, and that's about it. They don't think about their loved ones. They don't think about their children. They don't think about their parents. They don't think about their brothers. They don't think about their sisters. They don't think about anyone but themselves. Now, these politicians, they come out and they complain, such as Maxine Waters and Feinstein and, people like that. And, of course, there's Hollywood, hypocritical Hollywood, who complains that we have a guy that's a sexual harasser, rapist, whatever. And we have people in Hollywood like Harvey Weinstein that's been doing it for years, and no one's even batting an eye. No one's really complained about it until now. And, of course, people ignore this. I think the only reason people care now is because he's fallen from grace, so to speak, so everyone wants to jump off the bandwagon that they were on for so many years when it comes to this guy. And for them to say they didn't know anything about it is a fat lie. There is more to Hollywood than Harvey Weinstein. There have been complaints about producers, directors, actors. The list goes on and on. You can't say too much because most of your movies for decades have been sexual harassment movies, rape movies, murder movies, you name it, witchcraft movies. Anyone that writes a movie already has that thought in the frame of mind to begin with. It's already in there. And if it's already in there, it's a fantasy of theirs wanting to tell a story of a fantasy to you, reliving a fantasy that you want to come true as well. Pornographic movies are $1 billion business in this country, all over the world, and no one tries to stop that. There is heinous crimes coming out of it: assault, sexual assault, murder, rape, the like, and no one bats an eye. We had magazines such as Playboy, Penthouse, and those who have created those magazines that have exploited women since day one. No one has batted an eye. We've had actors in the Bunny Ranch or Playboy Bunny House, singers, actors, politicians, you name it, that have been following this guy since day one. No one bats an eye. We have Larry Flint talking about how sexual harassment and Donald Trump and people like him are such bad people, and violence and different things like that, who's standing up for the Democratic Party and all that. This is a guy that created a magazine that exploits women in the most heinous ways, and yet no one sees the hypocrisy in this. We've had Jerry Springer, who once said that that George Bush was a violent person, and he didn't like him because he's a warmonger and all he cares about is violence. Jerry Springer, the man that created violence in talk shows, the man that got busted, and look it up, as mayor of Cincinnati, writing a check to a prostitute or topless dancer in a bar, got busted for this. So we spend our time focusing on what everyone else is doing wrong and not really focusing on what we're doing wrong. We have a senator sitting up there telling Kavanaugh about lies and how we're not supposed to lie, when he is known for lying about saying he was in Vietnam when he wasn't, lying about being in a war that he wasn't in, never was in Vietnam, and he spent years doing this. But it's okay to call other people liars. It's okay to try to preach about how lying is wrong. These politicians, the point is, these politicians do not care about you. I have never been a Trump fan. All I care about right now is jobs. All I care about right now is making a better economy. I'm tired of watching people get laid off. I'm tired of watching people lose their houses, their cars, their families. I care about kids that are in the streets going hungry. The only time they can eat is when they go to school. That isn't right. Children don't have a choice to get a job so they can eat. There's no choice. They do not have that option. But all we sit and argue about is what this guy's doing, what that guy's doing, what this politician cares about, what that politician cares about, what he's going to do for me, what he's going to do for me, what she's going to do for me, what she's going to rise up and do this and do that. They don't care. When is the last time they've spent their money feeding kids that have no food? There is a huge problem in the society of people going hungry. When are they going to get out and spend their money serving people need to eat? Give children a chance to be happy for once. When are they going to go out and pay for somebody's medical bills when they can't afford it? When are they going to go out and do something, buy someone a car that walks miles to go to work? When are they going to get out and do that? When are they going to go out and clean the trash off the street? Go out and pick trash up off the side of the highway? When are they going to become roofers and try that for one day? Try going out and clean people's toilets. When are they going to do that? When are they going to go out and do some of the hardest jobs out there? It's never going to happen because they don't care what you think. And for you to sit here and thinking that they're backing you, you're an idiot. You're a moron to think that they actually care what you're going to do. Are they going to be on the front lines when there is a civil war? And as long as we keep going where we're going, it's going to happen. Are they going to be in the front lines? No. They will be behind you hiding. I promise you that. Michael Moore stated that we need to throw bodies out there and in a civil war, we need to sacrifice ourselves. Do you honestly, in your brain, think that he's going to be in the front lines when this happens? Do you honestly think that he's going to fight in the front lines of a war when it happens? He will be hiding in the back with the rest of them. This is how they are. And for you to think that he cares, that these people care about you, you've got to be out of your mind, because they don't. They're not going to care. This is the same guy that complained about industry, complained about Hollywood making millions of dollars, people being rich, that are exploiting other people. People making billions of dollars a year. While you're sitting there, created a film talking about this, and you're sitting there watching this film in a theater, spending $20 for a bucket of popcorn and drinks and theater money and all this stuff, going broke watching his film while he talks about what they're doing to you. This is a guy that made millions off of your dime, watching his movie, spending your money, telling you that they're wrong while he's becoming rich off of you. I don't understand it. Until we stand up and say, it's not about you, and it's not about him, and it's not about these politicians. It's about my family. It's about taking care of myself. It's about taking care of my neighbor. It's about going out there and picking the trash off the street. It's about going out there and feeding children that are hungry. It's about going out there and saving the world instead of destroying it. Until we do that, nothing is going to change. Now, someone said the other day that social media is killing this country, and I believe it. Facebook is filled with hate. It's filled with angry people. Same thing goes with Twitter. Same thing goes with many other social media sites. I just seen Molly Ringwald posting stuff. It's pretty ridiculous. I had a lot of respect for her acting, but now, not sure anymore. I honestly don't understand how someone could be a millionaire off of the work that they've done and complain about it. Say that they hated the movies that they've done back in the 1980s, and yet they've become millionaires or have become rich from this, who probably still getting royalty checks from this, and they're not turning them down, but yet are attacking it. No one forced them to do this. So we hate each other because of what somebody else is feeding in your brain. Don't you think maybe politicians and actors and people in Hollywood are doing this on purpose? Don't you think maybe the more you do this as a society where they think you're morons, that it's actually giving them what they want? Basically power and to control you? Hollywood has been dictating control for decades. That's the point of their movies, to control your emotions, to control how you feel, how you think, how you act. It makes more money for them. Same thing goes with politicians. Same thing goes with musicians. This is how their emotions and their music cause you to react in certain ways. Some of it's good, some of it's bad. Hollywood, it's the same thing in certain movies. It's how you control yourself that makes a difference. If you see a movie and react, oh, that was a good movie, made me feel sad, and then you move on, then you're okay. But if you go out and you say, well, that movie made me want to go out and murder, and you do that, then they're controlling you. The same thing goes with a politician that stands up and says, go out and fight, go out and stand up inside of a restaurant, and you go in there and do something, and you end up getting shot. Who are you going to blame? You're going to blame the people that shoot you? Or you're going to blame the idiot that told you to go in there and do it? They didn't go in there and do it. When are they going to go in there and do it? If someone's going to stand up and say, hey, go fight, you tell them, you go in there first and I'll go behind you. Let's see if they do it. If someone complains about a movie that they've done saying it's sexist, okay, then give them the royalty check back. Give all the money that you made from that movie back. Let's see what happens. It's not going to happen. If a musician says we need to stand up and hate and all this other stuff, then they need to stop singing about hate. It's hypocrisy. I say stop following it. Stop believing it. Look at the facts. Do your research. Work hard for what you want. And don't expect people to give it to you, because it's not going to happen. I know this is probably a boring message, but I appreciate everybody watching anyway. Stay tuned for another message coming up. It's real important. It's a decision I decided to make. That's coming up, so stay tuned for that. Remember, guys and gals, We should learn to love one another and stop this social media bullcrap. Because while you're angry and sad and everything that goes on, they're smiling and laughing at you while you're doing it. Think about how they are satisfied with what's going on until they get out of their chair and decide to go in a restaurant and protest themselves. And I've never seen them do it. Until they decide to stand up and be in the front lines instead of behind telling you what you should and shouldn't do. Until they decide to do it, then I will not believe them. None of them. Because half of them don't care anyway. I'm not just talking about Democrats. Do you remember in 2008, Trump supported Hillary Clinton, so he is really no different than anyone else. He's a businessman. He knows what makes money. He cares about money. He doesn't really care about politicians because he flip-flops. It's money for him. It's how he makes money. And for those that, think that, maybe he does. Maybe they do. I don't know. I don't care. But the point is, we need to take care of ourselves before we go and stand up in front and be the ones that are the battering rams for them. Be the ones that are the blockades and the ones that are getting attacked while they stand there and have nothing happen to them. All we're doing is we're the weapons and we're the ammunition for them that we use on them, that they're using on them, and we come back and attack them with it. We're just in the middle of their argument. That's all. We're just in the middle. Thanks, everybody, for watching, and please like, share, and subscribe, and don't forget to listen to the station. Hey, everybody, don't forget to check out Reverse 96 FM on TuneIn, Streema, and now InternetRadio.com. See ya.